Thank you. I don't know how I'm going to follow Ed with that sort of. But immediately I thought about, look, it's a gun. I'm going to go, look, it's a regulator. How many of you guys can think about that? Let's play this game. But you know what? All joking aside, I was talking to Daniel earlier, and we were talking about, I'm from the government. I'm here to help. And how many of you guys truly believe that? Can I see a raise of hands? Come on. Yes, see? There you go. Men in uniforms really believe that. So it's interesting to hear Colin talk about, all the different aspects and all the different challenges and how we sort of are moving towards this digital future. And Leslie sort of laid out a really grand vision, which we all have been painting, one canvas at a time. Let me just read a couple words that I heard in Ed's talk, as well as in Colin's talk and Leslie's talk. I heard the word interdisciplinary. I heard the word convergence. I heard the word, full contact play. I heard the word regulatory complexity and old school. It's interesting how we're still in 2017 and thinking and talking about that. It's really interesting how we are talking about how things should play now. I think it's 2017. We need to sort of stop talking about those things. And it's not about moving on to different things. It's more about we are here to collaborate, and let's collaborate. Let's figure out how these worlds that are converging in front of us are really converging, and how can we make the most out of it, and how can we get to a point where actually we do care about patients at the end of the day. And last night at the function, we talked about patients first. That's really what I believe in personally, and that's what the agency believes in personally as well. It's always about patients first. So I'll tell you a little story, and I probably won't take up all of my time, but I'm going to talk about where, and Leslie asked me, talk about what you think the vision is and where we're going. So I'm going to go talk about two things. We're changing how FDA is perceived. We're changing how FDA does business. At the end of the day, we want to make sure that whatever we set up going forward is in line in how products and technology in the world of medical devices are brought to patients in a best manner. When I say best, I mean truly best. Safe, effective, secure, all of it. So how do we get there? I want to sort of, my role at FDA in the last 9 years has been purely trying to figure out what is best and what's the best role FDA can play. I think there needs to be this tension that is natural between people who are making technology and people asking tough questions about why is it good, why is it not good, why there needs to be science. And last night we were talking to a couple of people, and I'm going, if there's no science, there's no business, there's no money. So how do you ask those right questions up front, and how do you sort of move forward? So I've been using this parlance for the last few years, and I'm going to say it. We want to be seen as partners, and we truly want to be partners, not just being seen, but how do we become partners in making technology, in partnering with schools, in partnering with people in education, in partnering with people who are providing care, et cetera. So how do we, and then how do we create an environment that actually can become this place that we all want to be? How do we lean forward as a government agency? This is what we can do best, right? We can make products, but we can lean forward, provide an environment, be a catalyst for people to sort of become the best what they want to deliver to the patients. And how do you do that? So we've been working on many of those things till date. I'll give you a brief update on that, but I want to announce something, Leslie, I just found out. Leslie mentioned about talking about this collaborative effort that we had with a group of international regulators and the clinical community and academics. And we were here in LA this summer. Was it this summer? Was it this long ago? March, early summer, maybe. Yeah. And we worked on this document informed by global comments that just got approved. I just got a note this morning, saying that was approved unanimously by the management committee. And it is a document that was geared towards how should software as a medical device be clinically evaluated. If you think about, the concept, people who are doing clinical evaluations or understanding how meaningful those products are in clinical settings, people would think about pacemakers and other things like, really, we understand that. But what does that mean for software? What does that mean for digital health? So this was a document that converged all regulators across the world. Leslie was helpful in part of that. We actually were here We worked tirelessly for 5 days to come up with a document that just got cleared. So enough of that announcement. I'll just go forward with where we need to be. This is not a plug-in for the staff I'm trying to build, but the first time in many years, FDA is now committed to stand up a unit within the Center for Devices that's focused purely on digital health. I'm leading that unit. I'm also charged with making sure policies, practices, and future-looking how we look at regulating and overseeing is done under this one centralized unit that's coordinated. For that, we also need people who think about not just with science, but also business and technological aspects. So we're moving from a scientific organization, and my boss, Dr. Sharon, was head of the Center for Devices, and I talk about this. We want to be viewed as not just a science-based organization, but science, technological, and business-savvy people at the agency trying to be in the same interest as you guys to bring products to market with the highest quality that are safe and secure, at the same time effective. So that's really where we want to go, and that's where we're going. In fact, we have, if folks seen on LinkedIn and other places, we are announcing positions that can actually bring those people to FDA, being part of the team, and sort of move forward. Second part I've been charged with is how do we take the regulatory system that we have today, which is a product-by-product base, and how do you turn that around and make sure that technology is delivered and products are delivered, solutions are delivered to patients faster than before? Well, faster is not just for the sake of fastness. It's more about how do you deliver it in a timely way that is in line with how products are developed, how products are created, how products and solutions are sort of conceived, and matching with the technology that we have in front of us today. We heard today about how all these worlds are converging. I mean, just thinking about film industry with VR and AR, and people in the traditional med tech and pharma all converging together. How do you sort of do this? So in order for us to think about that, we've been trying to flip the model and say, can we focus towards a firm-based or a company-based model where we can actually pre-certify somebody to make products of a certain risk level, then can go to market quickly, either with a really no review or very minimal review. What does that look like? So can we do and I talked about this last year when I was here, we talked about this pre-check model, or similar to a TSA pre-check. Can we pre-certify people to sort of make products in a trusted way that we can get to market faster? What does that get us? It gets us efficiency from our perspective. It gets us efficiency from a developer perspective. It gets us efficiency to get products to patients faster. That's really all about. Again, I'll end with patients first. And at the end of the day, we want to make sure that patients are afforded in a very timely manner in those solutions that actually will be helpful for us, not just from a regulatory perspective, but just as a community perspective, as an individual on this planet. So I want to close with saying we are leaning in, we are partnering, we are collaboration fosterer, I don't know if that's a word, asking tough questions, and it's all for patients. So I'm going to end with that, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the talks. Thank you.